Hi, my name is Jeff Jazanowski, and I'm the Recovery Ministries pastor here at Montgomery Community Church. My life hasn't been easy, and as a part of Celebrate Recovery, we teach people that have gone through the 12 steps how to write out their testimony. So I've written my testimony, and now I'd like to share it with you. When I was 3, my mother and father divorced. My father was a drug addict and an alcoholic. By age 5, he had also abandoned me and my older sister. My mother remarried, and her and my new stepfather had 3 more additional children. I didn't see or hear from my biological father again until I took the initiative and invited him to my high school graduation. I grew up Roman Catholic in a New York Italian family. Outwardly, I looked like I had it all together, but inwardly, I was struggling mightily. You see, when I was only 7 years old, I was sexually abused. Not long after that, my neighbor and I were playing in his parents' bedroom, and we stumbled upon adult magazines. And there my lifelong sexual addiction began. When I was 10 years old, this same neighbor invited me to a vacation Bible school. It was at that VBS where I first learned about who Jesus was, what he had done for me, and how much he loved me. So on April 7th, 1980, me, my older sister, my mom, and my uncle all accepted Jesus Christ as our personal Lord and Savior and were baptized. I wish I could say that from that moment on, everything went smoothly in my spiritual walk with Christ, but it didn't. My hurts, hang-ups, and habits continued to pile on top of each other. I graduated and went to college only to fall head over heels for the first girl I met on campus. We married during the second semester of my freshman year. A year and a half later, after hundreds of arguments and her unfaithfulness, she decided she didn't want to be married anymore, and she filed for divorce and left. I graduated college, and I entered the ministry. I didn't date again for 7 years. I did begin to heal, though, when I attended a divorce recovery group. Then, I met, dated, and married my wife, Gina. Well, 5 years later, our daughter, Grace Aaron, was born. A little over a year later, Gina got pregnant again, and this was when God first began to get my attention. We found out early in Gina's pregnancy that we were having a boy, but we also found out that his kidneys were dilated. They found nothing else was wrong. So we met with the doctor. I have some good odds to give you. You have a 1 in 333 chance of having a child with Down syndrome. During the final 26 weeks of Gina's pregnancy, my relationship with God became increasingly distant and volatile. See, I thought that God was punishing me for all the wrong things that I had ever done in my life. This went on for 26 weeks. Then, on the day that Isaac was born, I remember being in the operating room with the special care nurse bringing Isaac over to Gina and I and saying these words out loud. I'm about 90% sure that your son has Down syndrome. And I heard God speak to my heart. He said, Jeff, you have been raging against me for 26 weeks, asking why, and you haven't been ready to hear the answer, but you're ready now. He reminded me of how young I was when I had first accepted Christ. You've grown up in another way that you shouldn't have. I'd become an adult who believed that he was self-sufficient, that he didn't need anybody else but himself. He was speaking about me, that I didn't really believe that I needed God. He was right. In fact, God told me that my son was my gift. I know what you need, and this is what you need. Why? This son of mine was going to serve as my daily reminder of how I was to love and trust God in my life every day. Isaac was going to teach me how to surrender my life to God.